Hi everyone, it's Killshot 99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 14 update. We're going to talk about scars to flashback. We're going to do a little bit of preview action in tonight's stream. And a little bit later on tonight, we got a favorite of all of ours. We're going to do our bold predictions. So we like to just kind of throw it out there, see what sticks, and just no holds barred for our bold predictions. And then tomorrow night, I do want to... we're going to have a lot of fun tomorrow night because tomorrow night are two streams that we do where our Patreons kind of choose a little bit of the topics. So we're doing our Pick 'em or Pike 'em. So the Patreons have spoken on the 6 people that they want us to discuss tomorrow night. We had a lot of fun with that on Sunday. And also, we're going to be doing our best scenes and doing a little bit of recap from episode 13. So you can see a lot of themes going on. First and foremost, I want to thank all of you for making time out of your schedule. I know there's a lot of content out there, and you guys are doing your best to keep up with everything. Definitely there's some good video content that many of you guys are telling me about, but I do hope that you will make this your source for live streaming. I mean, that's what we're all about. We don't do a lot of 10, 15-minute videos. Not that that's bad, but we really like to get together and get everybody's ideas and kind of make our own little unique real-time forum. So hopefully you guys got a chance to see some of the new art that we added both to the Facebook fan page and also to the 999 Gaming page. Hopefully you guys like that. And let me say something, because I've said this in many streams, and I just want to be super, super nice with it. There are no YouTubers out there that I dislike. I think rumors get started. I've said in videos, I don't watch other videos, and it's not because I don't like their content. It's because two things. One, I don't have a lot of time to do it, and number two, I don't like to be influenced by other people's thoughts, because one thing that we do here is we come up with our own theories. And if I'm spending hours watching a lot of other videos, I'm liable to use a thumbnail or an idea or say, hey, this is my original idea. And I don't like to do that. I like to kind of let it go. But please don't mistake that as a misunderstanding. And I know you guys do send information to me, and I do want to give a shout out because someone told me that Brian from PT Channel was talking about hashtag Walking Dead Fair, Walking Dead Red Fair, and gave a shout out to each and every one of you. So I think that's awesome. So kudos to Brian. And the other thing is we want a lot of YouTubers to use hashtag The Walking Dead Red Fair. So I'm going to ask each and every one of you to just type it up there right now. Hashtag TWD Red Fair. We want to get this thing trending. We know it was an idea where it generated, but it's not just about where it generated at this point. We want to get it out there so people draw attention to it and make it a bigger deal. And Walking Dead needs that signature moment. It's not Killshot's moment. It's not the 999 Army's moment. It's The Walking Dead, and we want that to happen. So we got Tom Ferreira says, I hope Negan kills Alpha. Tom, I think you're going to get your wish. You're just not... Well, I don't know. That's Season 10 stuff. So we can certainly hope that Negan kills Alpha, but I really think it's going to be... somebody different. All right, so thanks so much. And people watching the playback, you guys should see the power of the Red Fair right now. It's going to be an event. How it goes down, we'll wait and see. So Crystal wants to know what is circled in the picture. I thought this was a little bit odd. Well, not even a little bit odd. A lot odd. Is your eyes are drawn to the path. Certainly they're drawn to Michonne being pregnant, walking alone with her katana. But there's a key hanging on the tree. Now, one could say, just put it up there and it's not a big deal. I think there's going to be more to this key and more to this backstory. And I just, my eyes kind of went to that. And I just want to throw it out there for a little bit of debate. It is a key. Tom Ferrer says, Alpha, more like Alpha B. So it is weird, right? Here she is walking along this path. And there's a key hanging on a tree. So, if you want to keep people out, you don't leave a key out in the open. So you think there's some building where she lures people in? She's trying to get people to follow her. I mean, why don't you just carry the key, I guess? That would be one thing. I mean, she could put it on her necklace. You know, it may not be anything, but it was just bizarre. Delaware Sasquatch, first timer. Could secret be destroying sanctuary? First of all, Delaware Sasquatch, thank you for being here. Hopefully this won't be your last time being here. We're love when we have new members and new people join our live streams because it definitely enhances the conversation. It's very possible. One of the things that I wanted to talk about in this week's episode, which is right along that alley, because last week we did a video and it was basically titled Every X-Scar Theory that's out there. But I don't think we covered all of them. And you bring up a valid point. We've seen already Jed's group get set on fire by Carol. We saw, well, first of all, we saw Jed's group hijack Carol 6 years later. Then we saw, after a time skip, and then we saw Carol get revenge. And then we also heard that it was brought up with King Ezekiel. So that does seem like it's a few too many clues. Is it possible, to Delaware Sasquatch's point, that some of the saviors found out that Daryl allowed the women from Oceanside to kill a rot and he just turned and walked away? Maybe not Jed's group, because obviously Jed's group was not murdered by Daryl and Michonne, but could some saviors have lashed out and wanted to get some revenge? Because there were several more saviors other than Jed's group. There were a lot of people. And the sanctuary was a little run down. It did look kind of like it was built back up. I mean, that could have been over time, but just something to think about. I got another super chat. We got Tom Ferreira, super chat. Big super chat. Look at Tom rolling up here. I'm shocked that Henry didn't tell Lydia about all-out war. Tom, there's a couple reasons why he didn't. One, he was very careful in the beginning of what he was going to say, and as soon as he started talking about things to Kingdom, Daryl busted in the door, right? And Daryl said, I don't care what you're talking about. I'm going to kill you, little son of a bitch. I mean, Daryl just ran down the stairs and took him out of there, so he didn't get a chance to follow up with her. Then the next thing that happened is he had to get to know her. And then the next thing that happened is they were separated. So I don't know there's been a lot of opportunity for him to really do that. And he's been kind of googly eyes ever since. I'm trying to remember the when Lydia came over in the scene. I got another super chat in a second, so I'll get to you in 1 second, June Smith. I'm going to give you a super Rick Grimes super chat here in a second, June. Hold tight. Maybe you guys can help me with this. I didn't go back and watch the playback. But remember the scene at the Whisperer camp where Lydia kind of bent down to pick up the, the bowls or whatever they were? Was that before or after Alpha had decapitated the woman and killed her boyfriend? I know Henry was tied up to a tree at that point. You guys are like me. We're going to be 50-50. Some are saying before, some are saying after. Okay, if it was after, if it was before, it's okay. And that's why I said I want to watch it. But Henry got this smirk on his face after she came to visit him. And I'm thinking, like, if that was after he just witnessed that, it is relevant. Because if it's before, okay, hey, I just got captured, maybe there's a chance, and I'll give her kind of this little, coy smile. But if it's after somebody just got decapitated and he gets this little smirk, I mean, come on, Henry. So, yes, he hadn't really had a chance, Tom, to tell her about all-out war and all the other stuff. I mean, Judith knows about it, but Judith's been around for a long time. All right, we got June Smith. Super chatting. June Smith says, kills. Love the art, but where's Rick? And I think we got 100 hashtag The Walking Dead Red Fair by now. Just saying, come on, Army, support me here. So, June, I love that picture, and I love Judith being at the forefront. And maybe we'll modify it to add some Rick a little bit later, but we want to be kind of cutting edge. And to your point about the Army getting TWD Red Fair trending, that's what I said a little bit earlier. The more... Look, I'm not saying go over and watch everybody's videos. I mean, if you got an hour to kill, I'd rather you kill it here. But if you are in other videos and you are involved, and you got extra time, yeah, we want to get this thing trending everywhere. And when other people talk about it, I think it's great. I think it's good for the show. Tom Ferreira says, like he would say, yeah, there was a war. Tom, I think, as you stated last night in one of your super chats that I didn't read, I think Henry has other priorities right now. And it's not giving her the backstory. Henry has a different agenda. William, super chatting, Puddin' is home. I'm lost, William. There she is. Okay. I didn't see her. I was wondering, I knew you're referencing Mitch, but I was like, where's she at? So I must have missed a little bit of her. A lot of people in the stream, everybody. Thank you so much, William Finney. Why didn't you put the flowers up there, though? Just, I thought you'd make the introduction with the flowers. So there's some really, really exciting things about this week. All right. First of all, on a hype meter, how excited are you guys to see this episode? I honestly think I'm the most excited to see this episode of any of the episodes for the whole season. Because this story has just been, in my mind, I wasn't excited if it was going to be a whole flashback, but there's a lot of good things that are going to go down. There you go, William. There's the flowers. So I'm sure that is well appreciated. Tom says, what if Michonne led a group of psychopaths? Well, it could be a different group. And we've seen some of the scenes. All right, look, what do you guys think at this point? Michonne's 7 months pregnant, 8 months pregnant? Everybody's going to be all over the board with this one, I know. I mean, she ain't 3 months pregnant. She's pretty far along. All right, so we're getting 7 or 8. So we know it's toward the end of her pregnancy. And she's still out there fighting. And she's been out there looking for Rick. She's been looking for any clue whatsoever. So there's still a few things that could go down in this flashback. Is she at the wrong place at the wrong time? I mean, it's either going to be another group rolled up on her, or she rolled up on another group. She found something that she needed to take out her frustrations on, I guess. or she found some hints or some clues or some blame was assigned? It's a good point, Casey. She got a bag with her. She finds some things she wasn't supposed to find. Now, I did mention that we talked about almost every theory, but look, I can give you another theory. Is it possible that Jadis's group is still out there hunting for people? I mean, we haven't talked about them. See, once Jadis kind of flew away with Rick, everybody they brought closure to that whole story, right? Like, oh, they're not still looking for people. And I'm not saying that they would think that Rick was flown away, but it's just a group that we totally forgot about, right? We don't talk about them anymore. There's another group out there that we don't talk about anymore either. Tom Ferrer says, like people who pretended to be good people. Well, here you go, Tom. Thank you for that. That's like perfect segue. Is it possible that Negan's wives are still floating around out there? Sherry. Frankie. I mean, we know it's not Dwight because this would have been, there was a 1.5 time skip. So Dwight cannot be there because if it's a 1.5 plus 7 months, because this is during the second time skip. So it would be 2 years. Fear the Walking Dead is still behind that. I know June's going to say, wait a minute, Kills. When we start doing these time skips, it gets confusing. That's for you, June. June always slows me down. But what about some of the former saviors? What about Mark? Where's Mark? You know, perhaps there is a savior group that's out there. Could it have been some of the early run-ins with the Whisperers before they were the Whisperers? Could we possibly see some Whisperer clues? I mean, if Alpha was up the street in Baltimore, about an hour drive away. Now, I don't know if they would have been living in this area for 6 years, but they just didn't become 150, 200 people. I mean, there's people that have merged in different groups. So, how do you guys think the flashback is going to be told? I don't know. Maybe it's just kind of like my geekdom. You think it's just going to be like a cut scene? It's going to go directly to it? Or do you think that some of the flashback is going to be told from Daryl's perspective to Judith, and maybe Michonne might give a little bit of her instances with Lydia? I'm wondering if it's going to be like 2 separate stories. Because what's funny is we do see Daryl sitting on the dock with Judith. Looks like he's about to tell her a story, and then we see Michonne sitting there with Lydia. I don't think that's coincidence that they both happen to be sitting down talking to someone. Tom says like 910 was told. Yeah, I would almost like to see it 2 separate stories, and then it sort of, as it gets darker and darker, Michonne's got her agenda and Daryl's got his agenda, and they run into somebody, each telling their story from their perspective. Nick Jr., yeah, I like that. June Smith says, why hasn't Father G told anyone she was trading or Negan? Well, that's a great question. And June, I think some people could say that it's a plot hole, but there's something that could happen that could end it. I mean, we're always going to be asking that question. How do we know, as I said before, how do we know that Jadis stays with Rick? We don't know that Jadis doesn't come back again. Maybe she lied. Look, I know they're big what ifs. I'm not ready to throw that down as a bold prediction. I'm just saying in the flashback scene, what if Jadis wanted to protect what was going on and lied and said that she killed Rick? And bam, there's Michonne's rage right there. Or that she was responsible for it, or she saw his body wash away. I mean, I do think there's got to be, that question has to be answered. We've had Negan locked up for 7 years, and he hasn't told a single person about this helicopter. We've had Father G knows exactly what happened with Jadis, and he hasn't told anyone, not even Rosita. And, I mean, isn't that a big question? Like, did anybody ever ask, hey, what happened to the chick with the bowl cut? Jadis? Yeah, her. Haven't seen her in a little while. It's been about 6 years. I get it, Richard. I'm not saying that it's a snitch type of situation. I'm saying, would any of you, look, all right, let me give you an example, okay? We've got 300 people here, and, all of us are in a community, and we're building a bridge, and Rick Grimes is dead. Okay, everybody's emotional. We can't find him, or you think he's dead. Hey, Rick's gone. We saw the bridge blow up, and then you got Maggie, and you got Carol, and you got everybody else. I mean, at that point, don't you think it's time to start doing a head count? Jadis was not a minor character. She was involved in the story, and she was involved with Father G. So wouldn't some of you just like, hey, excuse me, anybody seen Jadis? I mean, would one person not ask that question? So, Ellis Jr., I think to your point, this would be a good episode to bring some potential closure to Jadis. Either the Jadis story needs to be brought to an end, because otherwise we're always going to have this Father G Negan, and everybody's going to wonder why the two people that knew something didn't talk about it. American Pride 7777 says, radio with Eugene and Rosita. Does that eventually connect them with Morgan? Fear the Walking Dead. Well, we don't know, because they're so far ahead of them right now. American Pride. I mean, I think it would be more people would love to hear that it connects them with Rick, and then Michonne has a reason to leave the show and not die. And I know, look, the audience is kind of split with the whole Jadis, where they stand on everything. But to me, it's a bigger concern than Morales and Heath. Now, the Heath thing is a little bit different, because the Heath, Heath, there was evidence dropped, and we assume several groups took him, and then Angela Kang said, yes, he was taken by that group, and now he's going to be a part of the movie. So they took Heath, but yet they came back. They came back for Negan. And Jadis had him tied up, and they didn't get Negan. And then they came back, and they took Jadis and Rick. So they know there's more people out there. So why wouldn't they come back again? Why wouldn't they come back for a few more? Rick was what they really needed? So if this happens, and this is 7 months later, I really want to know. Now, let's not get too far away from the main point of this week's episode. Michonne and Daryl are out there looking for clues for Rick. Now, they might not have a reason to fear. They might not have a reason to look over their shoulder, and maybe you do get some saviors, or you do get some bad actors that are out there messing with them. I mean, Michonne's got a sword, but her sword more than likely is to take care of the Walker threat, not to think that another group's going to run up on her. So I could see that going down a couple different ways. But it has to be centered around them looking for Rick and not giving up on that. So if that's going to be the key storyline, maybe it is the group that was with Jadis. Explain the trading thing, please. Which trading thing? With the scavengers, Joe? You don't have to super chat. Just type it up and I'll look for your comment. I'm going to get to the next one and come back to that. I need a little clarity. Benjamin Stevenson says, after what Judas said to Michonne in the last episode, she had to have dealt with people severely this flashback against other communities. Well, Benjamin, I agree with that. But the one missing piece, we can talk about Jadis, potentially being involved in this. We can talk about their group. But I still go back to one thing. What caused the communities not to like each other? And Tom Paine had even hinted that Jesus might have had a hand in it. So, the more we get this thing figured out, the more it just blows my freaking mind. Because I can see it leaning in one direction. But, my mind tells me one thing and my heart tells me another thing. Like my heart wants to be pure to the story and wants some closure to the helicopter. But my mind keeps telling me that whatever happened out there in those woods had something to do with the other communities. If the communities did not directly attack Michonne, which I don't think they did, maybe they weren't on their watch, or maybe there was some letdown or some disappointment, or they didn't carry in with their end of the bargain. Something had to happen to upset them so much that they're willing just to not even bother with the charter. So that question is probably one of the biggest questions as well. You could have people trying to find Negan. Joe, I missed that. Judy trading with Negan. I'm completely lost with that. I mean, I know Judith doesn't think Negan's a monster. Ben Stevenson, agree. Communities disagreed with handling of it. So, yeah, that'll be how it ties in. So, if we're to lean probably in one direction more than another, Michonne could have been attacked. Maybe she killed everybody. The communities didn't like the fact that, she probably could have done something differently. I mean, that could be the type of thing that would cause a rift. I mean, it really goes back to what your level of law is. Is it going to be Maggie's law? Is it going to be Michonne's law? But fundamentally, there's something they disagree with as far as how they're going to govern. Lakeisha says all this would not have happened if Rick was there. It's a great point. So who do we blame for that, Lakeisha? We're going to blame Andy Lincoln. The story drastically changed. Allison, I'm certainly okay with that. I was okay with that. The scars being something between Daryl and Michonne, that they'll never give up the search. I was fine with that until I started hearing Norman Reedus and Michael Cutlets talk about how dark the story is and how twisted. And then, that was one of I think the very next day we were doing a stream and talking about, hey, it's just a brand. It's just a tattoo. It's something, they're symbolizing where Rick was stabbed with the rebar. And I hope I'm okay. I'm fine with that being right. But then the more I heard other people talk about it, they sort of talked me out of my position on it. Mariah has a real technical question. How do you do a super chat? I think it depends on what type of device you're on. But if you have an emoji and a dollar chat symbol, you hit the dollar chat and then you type in what you want to say, and then that's how you do it. And if you do them on Friday night, they become crazy because we do, if you guys don't know, some of you guys that are new, we do Freestyle Fridays. At the end of this video, hang around just for a couple seconds because I'm going to tell you about some of the streams and some of the themes that we do. Not just videos and theories, but I think we got a pretty good platform at this point. E-Beach, we'll figure it out. Just glad to be here. And we're going to wind this down a little bit because we do have a 9:30 stream and we're going to do some bold predictions. But of all the predictions that we've done over the last couple years with Walking Dead, I have never had a prediction that was tougher to figure out than this. The writers, it can still be disappointing, but I don't think it's going to be. There's so many different possibilities, and you may argue, look, plot holes can create more possibilities, and that's a fair argument. But it does look like they thought about this very carefully because you've got some burning questions here. The communities haven't talked, and they were best friends, and now they appear to hate each other, and just sneaking around is not allowed. So that's out there. You've got the scars, which is an obvious problem. And then you've got all this speculation about who caused the scars. Is it a tattoo? Is it a brand? Is it the Saviors? Is it another group? Is it, I don't know that they were intentionally vague or if they've just been so obvious that we've just missed it. And I can't wait for Sunday. I'm telling you, it's going to be good. Maybe something still pops up over the next couple streams, something that makes a little bit of sense. But we should have some spoilers by Thursday, and we're looking forward to our friends over at Spoiling Dead's fan page to publish that stuff. But don't publish it before Thursday, because we want to do our theories and our predictions and everything up until then. So William, the 909 Walking Billboard, says, I'm going with earlier comment. I think that Michonne and Daryl slaughter a group, and they branded each other. I certainly think that would qualify as dark, because William... it did say on the Skybound mailbag that Daryl said that he and Michonne crossed a line. But the biggest problem with this theory is we've given so many theories that when one of them is right, which one of them is going to be right, we're all going to probably have a piece in that and say, yes, I did say that. And I'm going to probably be like, yeah, I said that, and I said that, and I said that. And we've talked about several of them, and I just, at this point, still, I don't feel good, like 100% on any of them. But William, I probably feel closer to what you just said than any of the other ones, that they did cross the line. They, maybe there was someone that should have been killed, and they killed too many, and they this is a reminder of what they can't do. But I do want to know what that key is. And Joe Fulford, you're right, only 3 episodes left. So everybody do me a big favor. Make sure you guys pike the like button. And let's do our best over the next couple episodes to get this Walking Dead TWD Red Fair working. Greg LeBeau says, no matter what theory I come up with, I can't make one stick and make perfect sense. I can't figure it out, but I'm dying to see what it is. Greg, you and me are like, we're exactly on the same level right now. I wouldn't say frustrated. I'm just anxious, and I'm curious because I feel like we're going to walk away from this saying that the writers just knocked it out of the park. They did such a good job with this. Whisper Omega, 915 and 916 have gotten almost no advertisement. No, they're not. And you know what that is. That's your people. That's your whispers and how dark and twisted. Now, at the end of in part of it, I think, Omega, is because they want us to be anticipating this flashback. But I guarantee you, once this flashback happens, next week you're going to see ad after ad on The Walking Dead. Only 2 episodes left before whatever happens. And then, which characters are going to be. I think they're going to hype the Pike. I do. But I think they don't want to take away from 14 yet because they know that we are looking forward to that. So, why get too far ahead of yourself when they know that for 3 weeks we are going to be on edge. And with that, everybody, we're 36 minutes into this. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight, all the Patreons, all the channel members. We got brand new Patreon that joined. It is Folded Hugs. Thank you so much for joining. That was yesterday. Also, a brand new channel member, Terry Clawitter. Thank you so much, Terry. If you guys are interested in becoming a patron, there's a link down below. Patrons just do a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff and help me out. They do polls, surveys, get a little extra insight as far as what we're going to do on the channel. Also, channel members. Somebody asked how you super chat. You join the same way you super chat. There's a $ there, and it says join YouTube Gaming, and then level up is what you do, and then you get some custom emojis and a couple other things. If we get, I think, 4 more channel members, then I get to unlock the Steph the Cuervo Queen emoji. We got Tommy the Man Bun. Channel members, you're on. Can you guys just do me a favor and emoji the Man Bun so everybody can see Tommy Man Bun McCandless? But after 4 more members, we will unlock the Cuervo Queen. So just something to look forward to, everybody. Hopefully you guys will be here for the 9:30 stream. It's going to be right back on this channel, 909 Gaming. So grab some dinner, grab a drink, come back, join us at 9:30. It's going to get a little wild at 9:30 because I'm not holding back. I'm taking off the gloves. I'm going to give you the bold predictions. If they're wrong, they're wrong. But I'm going to go out on a limb here, everybody. So be ready for that. And tomorrow night, we got 2 Patreon-sponsored streams, which are going to be Pick 'em or Pike 'em. That's a lot of fun as well. We're also going to do our best scenes from the week. And then Thursday night, we're going to have a Walking Dead topic. No Game of Thrones this week, everybody. We're going to get into that in a couple of weeks. We're also, Thursday night, we'll probably have the spoilers. And my new favorite stream, it used to be reactions on Sunday, but my new favorite stream is Freestyle Friday. You guys are going to want to be here for Freestyle Friday. We've had 2 of these already at 8 o'clock on Friday night. And what happens is we pick a topic, and we have some pretty regular super chatters that jump in, and they control the chat. So when someone super chats, everybody will just chime in, and it doesn't have to be Walking Dead related. It gets wild. It gets people's birthdays and songs and movies, and it's all over the place. But we've had a lot of fun with that. And if you guys are weekend warriors, we certainly have some weekend streams as well. So Saturday morning we do an 11 o'clock stream, and then Sunday we do about 4 streams throughout the day. So we'll have a calendar up. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate everybody being here. Special shout-out also to the moderators, Emmy, Steph, Tommy, Kells. And I'm not going to do shout-outs in this stream because we got to get over to the next one. But everybody do me a favor. Give me a quick 999 just to show everybody the power of the 999 Army. And then I'll do some individual shout-outs after the 9:30 stream. Thanks, everybody. I will see you very shortly. Peace.